This is what I mean, let's go.
Hey YouTube, this is Uncle Momo's music reaction channel where I provide my views on talented artists from around the world, both established artists and non-established artists. And I promise you that you won't be disappointed whatsoever. So why don't you come and join me in discovering amazing talented artists and bringing it to the forefront of my channel for us to view. Now, my first reaction coming over to the UK is Stormzy. He's just released a new track, This Is What I Mean. It's got starring Emery, Black Sherif, Jacob Collier, Miss Banks and Story. So this is a massive bunch of people that's carrying their own weight. If you don't know who Jacob Collier is, he's a person that he's just nuts about harmonies. Go over to his channel. He's a person that will put down 100 harmonies on his track, moving all over the place. So I reckon that any kind of harmony stuff in this track is all him. That's what he's about. Not too sure. I know about the other people, and you know what they're about. But I'm just thinking that out of all this list, you guys are going to be thinking, who the heck is Jacob Collier? Yeah, check him out. He doesn't really get enough recognition in this country, but he's got his own movements. He's come from a background of his family is a background of kind of like a Philharmonica orchestra kind of thing. He's got instruments all over his house. He's got so much accolades as well. But yeah, he's all about interacting with the crowd. So if you go over to his concerts and all that kind of stuff, he will want the crowd to sing. And he'll put them in places where they all sing, and he'll create music about it as well. So that's a little insight about Jacob Collier. And I'm chatting so much about him rather than Stormzy. Why? I don't know. We all know what Stormzy's about and what his capabilities are. We all know his trials and tribulations. We all know about his ops and just trying to, weigh him down, reduce him, and we've already had that talk about that. Funny enough, since this whole album come out, we have not heard anything, not even anything about Chip. And normally Chip would jump on it. He'll be gnawing this all up. Why? I think it's because he's mature himself. He's got to show maturity. I think Stormzy's first song that he released, Mel Made Me Do It, when everybody watched it, obviously Chip watched it. And I think he matured in that. Straight away, smacked maturity. Because he ain't coming back. And I think taking a bite at Stormzy was a immature thing, a kid thing, what we do. And we're all old. So I think the best thing would have been, I think right now is the perfect time for Stormzy to call that Chip and say, look, let's do a collaboration. And a lot of people think, what? But I think Stormzy is the person to do that. Just to show that, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm a man of God. You know, that kind of thing. Am I blabbering on? Am I chatting shit? I don't know. Let me know about it. But I'm talking for too long instead of pressing that play button. So, without further ado, you know what we're here for. Great vocabs and a damn good video audio music. Can you dig it? Okay. Hey, I like that. I like that.
This is what I mean, let's go.
Yeah. See, this is Jacob. So this is Jacob Collier. And you're going to see understand his style. It's very, very orthodox. It's very, very, he would like to find the corner of the boxes rather than use in the other spaces, because he understands the triangular form of it. Do you know? He's almost like a musical mathematician, that kind of thing. I'm going to go back just a little bit. Apologies, I just had to stop it and just let you explain about that. I'm going to go back to about saying, to To start, to about say here.
This is what I mean, let's go.
But it's very weird that he's put David Collier at the beginning. But it just shows you how much respect he has for him. Watch. I think he is known in America as well. Jennifer Hudson's interviewed him on their show. Long build up, my guy.
It's a bigger operation.
Okay.
What's with all the speculation?
I don't know.
Had to close the store for renovations.
Why?
Because he said storms, man, they're running out of patience.
Really?
Time to make a statement.
Go on then.
Time to free my mind of limitations.
One.
Finesse the majors, that's my form of reparations.
Okay.
They said you can't slide, you're a treasure to the nation, but what they gonna do, what they gonna say?
I don't know.
Storm's got that sauce, this that bolognese.
I know.
Talking about the bread like it correlates. I see you looking bothered with your bothered face. Even though we're coming from a common place.
Yeah.
All I see is stars like me in a rave. So give him room to grow and just give him space. And he could be a young black Jimmy Napes.
I hear that.
Oh, this is clean. This is clean. This is what I mean. I said, this is what I mean.
I'm gonna stop it right there. So, okay, Stormzy, I see what you're saying just from there, but you know what? I feel that's going to be the kind of backlash to this. Well, not really a backlash, because you got Miss Banks, so that's the saving glory. Right there, but it's showing you your capabilities. I mean, you're singing now, but with the collaborations, like, okay, look, when you got a UK hip hop artist, where's their collaboration lying at? Amongst their people, isn't it? Bringing out other people and all that kind of stuff. Now, because yes, Stormzy's has so many shots and in so many different kind of directions, where the people that he thought that he should be bringing up, that, you know, on a different kind of dimension of the spectrum, he would be bringing up it kind of now, he's almost like saying, you know what, frig you guys. You know what I mean? I would have bring you up, but frig you guys. I'm going to do my kind of collaborations with people that are on my same kind of core, on my same kind of boat. You know what I mean? That had that same kind of drive to be where there is. Frig my people. You know what I mean? The people that really can in my circle, they're, okay, boom, I'm going to bring them. But the people in your circle, I don't believe they're musicians and artists. They're your friends. And, you know, you bring them up. But, you know, there's going to be, I'm looking for that new up-and-coming UK artist that you're ready to bring up. I'm looking for that other UK artist that's, you know, that's good and that's been struggling, that needs that little helping hand, you know. And I feel that through your trials and tribulations of getting there, and with all the, you know, all the people just other UK rappers that's on you, and they're following suit and trying to follow the fashion of trying to jump on you. I feel they've kind of spoke it for the other UK artists that hasn't been doing it, that do need that helping hand. You know, you know, your album's done, that's it. You know, but I'm wondering, because of this, you know, all this kind of shots being sent at you, and the fashion of, you know, Storms and all this kind of thing, you kind of like thought, no, let me just close the door on them people there, and let me just follow that suit, which is really, really unfortunate, because there's really talented UK artists that wouldn't mind a helping hand and do some kind of collaboration with yourselves and all that stuff. So what I'm saying is, don't shut the door too much, yeah, because, you know, what's it, one bad apple spoils the bunch? I get that, but you're better than that. That's what I'm getting straight away from that, because I'm seeing established artists there that, on the hip-hop terms, you would not necessarily, I don't know. I just feel that it could have been more UK. Yes, it's all UK, but I'm saying it would have been more urban. Do you know what I'm saying here? There's a lot of UK hip-hop artists out there that could have done with being in this. You know, but I don't know. Let me know about your thoughts. I'm blabbering way too much. I'm going to go back just a little bit to about say here.
Black Jimmy Napes. Oh, this is clean. This is clean.
Yeah, it's clean. It's lovely.
This is what I mean.
I hear what you mean.
I said, this is what I mean.
Go on.
All my niggas got it, we unanimous.
Yeah.
Cut from different cloth and different calibers.
See?
My skeleton is matching with my managers. She love me 'cause I'm handsome and I'm talented.
He's just flexing.
Hanging off the banisters.
Yeah.
Tell me who's gonna pay for all the damages.
You are.
Oh, I'm just reckless like the man in me. Talking recce, we gon' ask you where your manners is. I said it from a kid, you should've listened.
This is very...
Manifest the shit and then it happened. Said that I'ma do it, then it happened.
It's got this kind of Michael Jackson flex, isn't it?
I shot my brother gigs, that's more than rapping. Shot my
This has got Jacob Collier all over the place.
Oh, all this work that I've been mashing, put your boy in a position where I'm profit off my passion or rap.
Okay.
You don't know about the times I've bled.
I
Give
do.
a fuck about what the timeline said. I'll do your day streams. In a second, yeah, I shine like Ed. I thank God for the life I've led. Then get the rave clean.
See? Even the name droppings, it's... Like I said, look, you're living your life and the best life, and that's brilliant. And do you know what? I felt that was forced upon you. Because you have always been about your bros. Yes, I understand that and you've always give accolades and your shout outs and everything else. And I thought there was some point where you were just tired of doing that because you felt it was holding you down. That you knew that you was much better than that. You knew that there was not on your kind of, when they go in the gym, they're not doing your kind of exercise. That kind of thing. But nevertheless, they were still in the gym. But they just wasn't doing your kind of exercise. So when they saw, just like people do in friends, when they see that there's slowly a separation, then it's like, this is when it becomes, are you my friend? And you're going to let me go and see that. And we're always going to keep it wavy. We're always going to, we're going to keep it cool. You know what I mean? I'll move on, blah, blah, blah. But we're always going to be brethrens. And we might link up, that might, inspire me to get to do the same exercise that what you're doing in the gym. And later on we'll meet at the top. Because you're not going to forget me, I'm not going to forget you. And there's people that will just spin around and say, boy, I can't do your exercise, but you know what I can do? I can send shots at you. Do you know what I mean? Or just trying to dirt your name and all that kind of thing. And I think that was, that outweighed more than the other. And it is a case of, look, if you see 100 snakes coming at you, yeah, and out of that 100 snakes, there's 10 good snakes. Are you going to wait for them 10 good snakes to come out of that door before you close it? Or are you going to close the door because they're all venomous? Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you just got to close the whole door because that's 100 snakes coming at you. And it's not like the 10 of them is at the front. They're all mixed up in the bunch. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, oh. So I think that he just closed the door and said, right, let me check up on myself. That's what I'm getting from this this track. It's not only is it different and he's broadening his horizon. Yes, I get that. He's got much more than meets the eye. And for him to do what he's doing right now, he had to close the door. It's almost like if you're going to receive goodness, you've got to empty out your back garden because it's going to be cluttered. To receive goodness, you've got to empty out your back garden. And I feel this is a massive point of that. I'm going to go back just a little bit to about say here.
Day streams. In a second, yeah, I shine like Ed. I thank God
Shine
for the
like Ed.
life I've led. Then get the rave clean. I heard them saying Graham ain't dead. I'm Harry Styles the way I find that
See?
tread. You got mainstream. Mind your business for you, mind my
See the
bread.
name that he's dropping?
10 million weren't enough, I make a lifetime pledge. Alright, boy.
This has got some. This is Michael Jackson, Prince, a twist of Kanye. Yeah, that's all him. That's his music.
Charge a nigga 50 every time I miss that jet. I guess I overslept. If she hold me down, then I might buy her a protect.
Really?
The man them hold me back because they know just how I get.
Yeah.
Please don't hold my money, man. Just wire me my check.
Lights on the beach. White bitches rolling in the deep. Diving off a yacht into
Bring my
the sea.
African girls over. Shout out to my Ghanaian. Our uncle's there. See, he's just coming from a different dimension now. You hear it?
I think I'm Kanye, mixed with Donny Hathaway. I heard son.
Didn't I just talk about Kanye a while ago? That he's got a little twist of Kanye on it. Yeah. But like I said, you see what the people that he's bringing in and the name dropping that he's doing. It's not like he's saying, oh, okay, yeah, fine. He did say a bit gets in there. But come on, who will say Harry Styles? Do you know what I mean? And he said, yeah, okay, you would say Ed, right? Ed Sheeran. But I'm saying the name dropping it just shows you the direction of where he's going right about now. Do you know? And the door that he has closed. I'm sure it'll be open, but he's just showing, look, I need space to be creative in my own way without feeling kind of responsible of, you know, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that, when he feels that he doesn't. I think he had this moment where he said, frig all you guys, yeah? You're not showing me that love what I need. And you got the love from the sisters. And the sisters, look, when you need direction, sometimes the best advice comes from a woman. You know, and it's clearly sees from Mel maybe do it, and his other previous tracks that's leading in the album. I feel that it's got a lot of female influences on there, as in he's been getting a lot of advice and all that kind of elements. All the advice that's led him through this kind of storm that he's been having for the past year with artists of his caliber. I feel that the advice that he's been given through all that time is being majority by women, and he has been listening. Yeah, your best advice that you can, best advice that a man can get would be from his mum. You know, aka a woman. So I feel that it's got some of that in there as well. I could be totally wrong on this, but I feel that is what it is. I'm gonna go back just a little bit to about say here.
I don't do things the rapper way. All that capping on the net will make the man and blow a cap away. So we just let them niggas that away.
Oh really?
I think I'm Kanye, mixed with Donny Hathaway. I heard Sunday's the new Saturday.
Okay.
We praising God, I watch my enemies evaporate. Hallelujah. To be honest, I could plan and do ya.
See?
But I gotta rise above it. Work to damn Kaluuya. No chance, Buffalo stance on my Nina Cherry.
He's mentioned God in all of his tracks so far.
That they see on telly. You man just remind me of my girl. Why you never
From his new album.
I'm the goat, but that ain't nothing I ain't said already. Yo, please. All my enemies are dead and buried. I need that Haagen-Dazs, I need that Ben and Jerry's. If we do it, then we do it large. I'm on my Kevin Perry.
There's a couple of your enemies still about
the
me.
same man who said his head was heavy.
He's bringing in Africa as well, man. Love it. Listen what he's saying. Because they don't deserve you. Yeah. I'm surprised by the views though. Should be much more. Go on, Stormzy. So that was Stormzy with This Is What I Mean. Starring Aaron, Black Sheriff, Jacob Collier, Miss Banks, and Story. Look, like I said, Stormzy's going into a different kind of dimension. And you can't blame him. You cannot blame him. If there was the love that he's getting from the UK, yes, it is love, but it's a different kind of love from different kind of sets of people. It's not urban love. Yeah, the urban love is shrunk. It used to be massive urban love. Yeah, I'm talking about, you know when I'm talking about urban love, you know what I'm talking about. And that has kind of like diluted, and the sort of like the urban love, sort of like almost, not all of them, but a section turned on him in certain ways. There was foreign and loved the attack that the coach was, you know, putting on him, and he closed the door, quite rightly. And he was closing the door in his massive mansion in Chelsea, next door neighbour Tom Holland on this side. He's got some rock legends on the other side. He's just surrounded and cocooned himself with tremendous influence that he would never have the access to if he wasn't who he is. And I think quite rightly the way how Freda put it in his chat over in GRM Daily, that sometimes he feels that he needs to go onto the streets to show him love, that he's still there. But he's changing, but he doesn't want to change because he still wants to give love to the streets. But he knows that if he doesn't give love to the streets, and the love to the streets he won't get that love back. It will turn into hate. So there was always going to be a time when you reach to a certain degree of success that you have to move away from that, and you haven't got enough money to pass around to the whole peeps, you know. So there's going to be people that's going to turn out of jealousy, and people that's going to, you know, look, people are people. It's human beings, you know. All characters are not the same. So you can't control that. The only thing that you can control is yourself, and that's what Stormzy did. He controlled himself. Yes, I think when it was the Wiley throw and he was, sending shots out to Wiley because, you know, that Wiley, I wouldn't call it beef, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, it showed his immaturity. But when Chip jumped on the stage and he done his stuff and he starts attacking Stormzy and the whole kind of, I don't know, people got more on Chip, was supporting Chip because Stormzy didn't come back. You know, and I think at that time was like the relevance of Stormzy thinking, shit, what am I doing here? And the kind of the love and attention that he got and the advice that he got. Yeah? Because remember, Chip was like Stormzy in his era back in the 90s. Chip had his time. He had his chance. He did. He was at the same kind of caliber, not the money caliber, but the same kind of caliber and richness that Stormzy is getting, the attention that it's getting, Chip was getting. Even in fact, Chip might even got more, you know? And I don't think there was any shots shown at Chip, but I sure know that Chip wasn't giving any kind of help to his boys as well. He could have easily done the collaboration with Stormzy and all that kind of stuff. So maybe, you know, when Chip went to Stormzy and asked for a collaboration, now that Stormzy's been like that and Stormzy said, you know, no, and you said that, oh, you kept it moving, you didn't, that hurt you. You know, but you should have reflected on your own self, to be fair, because you didn't bring up anybody. You know, you went out to the States and done a collaboration with Chris Brown instead. So, you know, I'm glad that Stormzy didn't bite when Chip was starting down in the fire, you know, sending shots at him. You can see a massive change, and the whole album is full of that. I don't know where he's going to go after the album's done. You know, what would be his next one? Would he go back? And if he does go back, would he get the love, the urban love, that, you know, at the moment he doesn't really care about because he's surrounding himself with the likes of Adele and Ed Sheeran and all these crazy. He's got a picture with him and Taylor Swift. So these are the people that, you know, look, he mentioned Harry Styles. You know, in his last video, he mentioned Tom Holland. You know, what rapper does that? Do you know, where do you get rep on the streets if you mention Tom Holland or the likes of Adele? And so you see that the direction that he's moving or the direction that he's already in. Do you know, he said goodbye to you lot. He is saying goodbye to the people that, you know, that if he was paying attention to, would have been diluting what he was been about. It would have put him in the wrong frame of mind. He had to close that door and for him to operate in this kind of style. And you know what? Hats off to him. Hats off to him. Because you are an individual. It was God that put you on this planet, not anybody else. Yeah, and all you're trying to do is home in on the gift that he's presented to you. You know, and he will surround you with lovely people of that godly nature. Because that's you know, inevitable. So Karen doing what you're doing, you may not know the end of your road, but he does. So that's Karen developing, Karen being you, and be the best that you can. And for that reason, I salute you. Boom.